What happened this year? We'll find out on this episode of the Funhaus Podcast.
Wow, good intro.
I can't remember.
Wow, welcome. My
Past a
name's
month
Lindsay.
ago.
I'm here with Ryan
Hi, everybody.
and Elise.
Hello.
And we're at Funhaus. I'm introducing this podcast in the penultimate episode. Hey, guys, we're doing this podcast.
Subscribe.
Please subscribe. Yeah, we only have one episode after this podcast, but I thought that it'd be fun to kind of break down some of the big moments of this year. Not just like on the Funhaus channel or anything like that. Like, we have lots to talk about next week, I think, with that. But just like our pop culture recap, and I have a whole list of stuff here. At least help me kind of collate this big old list of these like crazy moments, these memes. Do you remember? And then if we don't remember, then like it didn't happen. Who cares? Because like we are, if we don't know about it, then it didn't happen.
This is gonna be exciting. Yeah, because I have a memory of a goldfish, so it'll be like, oh wow, that happened a month ago.
It is
now.
a fun walk down memory lane.
Yeah.
I can safely say, biggest moment, Funhaus sees Ween at the Greek.
That's
number
oh,
one.
wow, I'm so glad that you said
That's
that.
number one.
Speaking of which, we got to get our tickets for the 2-night run in Del Mar, California in February on President's Day weekend. It's okay. We'll talk about it
I
later.
guess we got to figure that out. We got to
Anyway.
figure that out.
I mean, that is a little section on here of like, what's your personal highlight from this year?
That was one of them. Halloween shows.
Yeah.
Showing my friends the Ween show.
Like what, a
Greek?
vacation or like a party or an activity, like a
Damn.
show that you went to?
I don't know. I feel like I need to think on that
Yeah,
for a
can you
minute.
come back to us on
We
that?
can come back. Yeah.
Okay.
I could say mine.
Yeah, please
Yeah,
tell
please.
us.
I had a nice trip when I went to Europe.
Oh, yeah. You
That was
did it
great.
up.
That
You
was
did it
great.
up. You
That
rode
was
the train.
the best. And I'm like, when can I go back? Because it was great. And I mean, I had a couple nice little trips this year for having not gone anywhere for about 3 years because of the pandemic. So it was really nice to like not
Mm-hmm.
be at home, and not just Vegas, because I do go to Vegas a lot, but that's like I can drive there in 3 hours.
Yeah.
So it was really nice.
I had some nice trips, some kind of weird trips. I mean, I took some mushrooms at that Red Rock show in
Hollywood
Ween.
That was
the
this
Hollywood
year?
Bowl.
See,
Like,
wow, that was this year.
Some were better than others.
That was this year.
I didn't
Wow.
have any weird like psychedelic trips. I had a lovely little jaunt to Santa Barbara
Ooh,
for a few days. That was
I've never
great.
been there.
It's a great dog destination. It's a very, very dog friendly
Yeah.
city.
I need to go.
And gosh, the hell did I do this year? Man,
What did you do?
I feel like
She don't
There's-
remember. Maybe I can say some stuff and things that happened in your life
Yeah,
around
yeah,
these
yeah.
other things might jog your
I
memory
hope
of
so.
like, oh yeah, when the Mario movie came out is when I won the Nobel Prize.
Mine
No
were
awards this year.
my short list was Ween at Red Rocks. Sorry to
Right.
keep bringing it up. Barbie Oppenheimer weekend / my video kind of went viral, got on Canadian television.
Barbenheimer.
news.
Oh yeah,
Timer.
Nardwar, right?
Oh no, that was a different
That was a
thing.
different
Being
thing.
shot on Narwhal, that was pretty cool. And I feel like there was like 1 or 3 more that I'm all of a sudden forgetting now, but I'll come back to them.
Well, Barbenheimer is on this list, and that
Uh-huh.
one I think I saw a meme the other day actually that was sort of like it was like Christmas 2023 winter, Barbenheimer, and then November.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah.
January, Barbenheimer, November. Like that's kind of how
Yeah.
fast the year went.
And I wonder if we'll get into the mentality of like next summer will roll around and our memory conditioning will have us feeling like there's supposed to be some other similar event to look forward to, because that was something that was really special about this year.
Yeah.
I think especially like in terms of, I think we've talked about this a little bit, but like women especially, and feeling like you can love things unabashedly.
Mhm.
Like, no, even if you think like some douchebag's going to be critical of
Mhm.
it, just get out there and enjoy and free spirited love the thing
Yeah.
that you love. And I feel like Barbie was that, Taylor Swift was that,
Mhm.
Beyonce was that, like all these things that kind of like women especially rallied around.
Boy
and were like,
Genius.
Boy Genius. I mean,
Oh,
Boy
yeah,
Genius. And now
no.
Lindsay's a fan.
I'm a boy genius.
Like-
This year I'm now a
the
Swiftie and a
boys.
genius.
Yeah, I saw Muna at the Greek this
Uh-huh.
summer. Great show, and Boy Genius showed up, of course, because they're all homies.
Mhm.
And I was
Silk.
Siobhan. But I was just so happy, and I was just like, yes, Like, and I had seen Phoebe Bridgers before, but it was so cool to have the three of them come out and just like love what you love.
I cannot hear her name, Phoebe Bridgers, and then be like, day off in Kyoto. But there's a lot of big stuff. Obviously, Barbenheimer, and you mentioned Taylor Swift, so it's like the Eras tour plus the whole
Kelsey. Bieber.
That was huge in the fall. The two of them in cahoots. And then the kiss backstage. I watched that. I was like, oh my God.
It's weird.
As if I've never seen people in a relationship.
Yeah, I feel like every 35-year-old woman was like so invested in this. Like we're like, we want this woman to be happy. Yeah. We want her to have a man that lets her shine the way that she is. And we're all kind of like rooting for this in a weird way.
He's tall and like not some weird musician or not fucking Tom Hiddleston.
And he seems like he wants her. He's so proud to be with her. And
good
like,
for them.
You know, I feel like that's kind of.
Do you have opinions on Travis Kelce?
I imagine that's the kind of partner you are, Ryan. Like you want your partner to shine and.
Oh yeah.
You know,
thank you.
You give off that. You give off Kelce vibes. You could be the fifth Kelce brother. I don't know how many of them there are.
I gotta admit, when before I heard his podcast with his brother, I was kind of, you don't know about that?
No,
you're not as deep into this shit as me.
I do know that. I've not listened to it, but I do know that.
I did not know there was.
Yeah,
a podcast.
I definitely thought he was. My perception of him was kind of like dumbass douchebag, kind of like not like in a super negative bad way, but just kind of like. Not someone I'd necessarily want to hang out with. You know what I mean? And now I definitely think he's cooler than I initially thought because of his podcast. And then, now the stuff with the Taylor thing, I don't know. I'm still kind of like, I think it's a really bizarre odd couple situation. Mm-hmm. You know? I feel like she's like...
She's a pop star and he's a football player. I feel like that's not odd couple. That's pretty.
Well, I just mean
American,
like personality
right?
wise.
He's cheer captain or she's cheer captain, whatever, on the bleachers. I don't know.
Yeah, he's cheer captain.
I don't know the song.
Anyways, I get what you're saying. Also, have you seen the picture of the tweet comparison of like 2011, Travis Kelce in 2011? Look at that squirrel ate all that cheese and like spelled wrong. And hers is like a lyric from like one of her songs. It's like, oh, and the waterfalls.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't know her
it's
the
like,
songs from them, but it was really funny.
Yeah. Oh, it's the one from that song about Jake Gyllenhaal.
Poetry and music, and he's like, this squirrel ate the cheese.
Yeah, this eloquent lyricism she's doing compared to his.
Do you think it's going to last?
It's really funny.
Don't know.
And forever?
And I definitely see how it's been benefiting the NFL. I know that their female viewership has gone up considerably.
Yeah, nobody even knew what it was.
Yeah. It's a problem.
I don't know. But everyone online is like,
maybe
she marries this guy.
I'm going to go marries him or stays forever. I'm going to say in 5 years, no way they're together.
I'm a shipper.
Zero chance.
And then you shoot your shot.
And then I shoot my shot. Yeah. Taylor, if you're listening.
That's how Travis got her, right?
Keep those DMs open.
Keep them open like they are open now.
Well, I have a bunch of stuff on the list so we can kind of go through them and then you can be like, yes, I saw it. Yes, I know about it. I don't know about it. And then if one of us can explain it, we can explain it. So obviously the Mario movie came out this year. That blew my mind because the Peaches song, I was like, that was this year? Jack Black was doing
Peaches,
and that was a meme on TikTok and Peaches.
I unfortunately, I wish I'd seen that in the theater because I missed it. I didn't see it.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I love Mario.
You never saw a Mario movie?
No, I never saw it.
Oh, it was like, I remember my opinion of it was like, okay, at one point, part of the dialogue is literally like, and then you hit them on the head and pick up the shell, hit the box with your head. It's like, where's the story? Like, that's the dialogue?
I hear that, yeah. I heard that it's very dumb, but I hear that it's fun, dumb fun.
I also, if I was a kid, I would be absolutely enamored by that movie.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. But like, also as a kid, I was enamored by like the live action Mario movies. So it's like, with different expectations.
You have low standards.
Also on this list, Frasier returns, but also in parentheses, LOL from Elise, because that was her addition.
Because Kelsey Grammer, kind of not a good person, it would seem.
He's not?
I don't know anything about him.
Just because he's conservative?
That's what people tell me. I don't think it's that. I think it's like he's maybe like not been a cool dude or something to people. I don't know.
Well, he's on Real Housewives.
I didn't look into it. People just said this to me as an aside, like, oh,
you took it as
Kelsey
gospel.
Grammer I didn't even know he was conservative.
Oh, yeah, well.
But I will say I'm watching every episode of the Frasier reboot weekly, and It needs work. It needs work.
Okay, so it's
but
not
I'm
good.
watching it every week.
Okay.
His daughter, Spencer Grammer of former Greek fame, the show Greek. It was on the CW. That's the only thing I knew about him.
You didn't dig up
She's
any
also
dirt?
been on something else though too. That's even bigger than that, right?
Probably.
Well,
but
and his wife too, or his ex-wife. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Anyways, I've never really watched Frasier, so I'm not in the loop.
Frasier's great.
And he just had his return. Oh, I shouldn't. Maybe it was. Maybe it's. Look at this.
What are we looking at?
This headline here. Why is Kelsey Grammer the worst human to ever have a TV show?
Well,
What
right,
does
but
it
is that
mean?
person
Tell
just
us.
saying that because they fucking hate their politics, or is they actually do something bad?
I don't know. Maybe he's got like a bad relationship with his kids or something.
We'll
I don't
crack
know.
into this case. Megan with a 3.
That was so fun when we saw that with Funhaus together.
Did we see that?
I didn't
We all
see
saw
it.
that together.
No, I didn't see it.
We saw that in the same theater together. Elise.
Oh my God.
That was that was in January.
We need to do another like Funhouse all goes to see movies.
I love it. Yeah, every time it happens, it's fun.
I liked when we went to see Spider-Man. I brought everybody a box of treats.
We got to get on James. Rent the theater, James.
Rent the theater,
Put
money
up
man.
he's got the cash. I know he does. Because he got Spider-Man. What was he? He was talking about renting a theater for something upcoming. Was it Madam Web? It was something that I don't think anyone would want to see.
You know what? I just heard a good life hack about y'all's favorite movie theater in town. I don't know if it's your favorite, but you know
one?
that Look Cinema.
Oh yeah, we do go there. Yeah, sometimes.
Well, a buddy of mine told me that they're like, you know what? I never buy a ticket to that movie theater because it's like always a 15-year-old kid that's at the ticket thing, and basically they said you can just walk into that movie theater at any moment.
But it's assigned seating, so what if they sit in a seat that
You got to check on your phone what it has seats available.
your buddy does these unethical life hacks?
Yeah, your buddy's cheating the system. Your buddy might cheat your heart.
How do you know that my buddy has control of my heart?
A friendship betrayal,
Right.
so to speak.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Here's some other fun stuff on this list. Congressional UFO hearing. I don't know.
I was glued
Oh,
to my
yeah,
screen.
baby. Yeah,
I was
let's go to
glued
that
to my
shit.
screen during that. Did you watch it?
Was this
Oh yeah, I
like
watched it.
When was this?
It was. I feel like it was in the summer, but
yeah,
and it was
UFO season.
3 of these former like pilots. They were involved with like UAP programs with the government,
Right.
and they were one of them, especially the ringleader Grush was his last name. His whole thing was like the government has all of this information.
That's right.
They're not sharing it, and I've seen I haven't seen an alien life form up close personally, but I've heard from people that they've seen it. And then
I know it was all hearsay, and which
It
is
was all
not good.
hearsay.
I mean, yeah.
But it is really weird to see politicians you recognize asking people in a organized forum about aliens.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy to see.
It's cool how just official it all is, and we're talking about fucking aliens. you know?
Yeah. And
But
then
I don't know what
he
the
kept
deal
doing
is.
this thing where he would be like, I know more information, but I can't say it in this setting. Like,
Mhm.
and then he would be like, I would be willing to say it in another setting. But the thing that I also read was the other setting that he would tell people in, he doesn't have clearance to do. It's like a whole weird catch-22.
Oh.
Yeah, because he's trying to go through the official whistleblower
Mm-hmm.
ways of doing this, and which has a lot of process to it. So
Yeah.
he's trying to do it legit.
Wow. Anyways, also Nepo baby discourse.
Okay, I vaguely remember that.
That
yeah.
was a thing this year.
Where did we all land on that as a country? It was
I mean, I don't fucking care, I think. But
I feel like it was kind of a
understand
nuanced
why
conversation. Everyone was just kind of, I feel like
They're like,
people
don't
benefit of the doubt, at
cast
least.
this actor because they were the daughter of another actor. It's like,
Yeah.
so
I mean,
So?
so much of Funhouse is Nepo babies, right?
We are?
Well, because
well, my
like,
dad was former Funhouse.
well, no, like I obviously, James worked here.
Bruce,
I'm a
yeah.
Nepo baby of this. We knew you. We brought you in.
Yeah, but I worked
Nepo
with James
baby.
before at Machinima.
Barely.
But
the
see,
way he
this
tells
is
it,
not
barely.
Nepo baby stuff. This is just people
Hey,
getting
he and I got laid off
experience
at
in
the
the
same
industry.
time, but in different rooms.
Dan and James went to high school together in different rooms.
Yeah,
Dan and James went to high school together.
That's not a Nepo baby
babies.
thing.
Yeah, well, like if you get your friend a job, that's considered like nepotism, right? So
No, it is.
They're Nepo buddies.
Nepo buddies.
Nepotism is specifically for just my daughter. Can you help her and get her into this movie? You know.
Oh,
what I
my
mean?
dad did that once.
Okay, well then you're a Nepo baby.
Anyways, yeah, he
do
didn't
you-
give me a job
how do you,
here.
What's your stance on the whole Nepo baby thing? Like I feel like some people, they're talented.
If it's something like,
They
yeah,
work
if they're
hard.
like awful at their job and it was a clear like misuse of a power that's, you know, then like, yeah, that shouldn't be happening. But if it's like, oh, well, they just happen to know me and they're really good at this, or they're my daughter, or can you give her a shot and see if it works out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
I feel like it's a stupid thing to care about. But at the same time, it's like different jobs have different.
That's
It's
what
like
I'm saying. Like, yeah.
well, like in acting, I feel like you can probably get your daughter, son a a role in a movie or something, but they have to deliver at a certain point.
That's what I'm saying.
And then, but music, I feel like is different, where it's like anyone can kind of do it.
Anybody
and it's
can make
like,
shit.
yeah, and so you could basically, I feel like it's way more viable if you're like, oh yeah, that singer or something. That's the only reason they're famous is they're J.J. Abrams' daughter. It's
Yeah.
like. That makes way more sense to me because anyone can make music. Whereas if it's like an actor that got famous, it's like, did you know that that's actually River Phoenix's brother? You're like, wow, that's amazing. 2 talented brothers in the same family. Good for them, you know?
You know what is crazy? So I am one of the probably like weird people who are still watch American Idol every year.
Mhm.
But more and more, like in the last 5 years, so many. It's like they show this person, they're doing the audition, and then at the end, there's like a reveal that's like, I'm actually Steven Tyler's daughter. It's like, you know, whatever. He was actually
Liv
a judge
Tyler was
the
on
show.
there?
He was actually a judge on the show. But like, you never know.
No
It's
one
like
knew?
always somebody's daughter, and it's like they'll make it maybe through the first round, and then like they're just cut because it's like, no, you're not good enough.
Yeah, you're not good enough.
I thought where you were gonna go with that was that like all of a sudden there'll be like a teenager on there that'll be like, my dad actually was on the first season of
That
American
does
Idol.
That's what I
happen, yeah.
thought too.
Oh.
That has happened, yeah, where it's like my mom auditioned and then she died, and it's like
Huh.
they do the tragedy stuff now.
Oh, yeah.
Like
you get one round. You get through one round with your tragedy. That buys you one. I personally feel like there are varying degrees of nepotism,
Sure.
because it's like, you know, there's this burgeoning class of young actors now, like your Timothy Chalamet's and your I forget her name, but she's in The Bear. But like they're New York theater kids that they come from money. They were able to go through all these really good schools. But gone is the age of the actor that came to LA and like waited tables and struggled, because you can't even like do that here in LA. Like you can't survive here and do that and get jobs. You lived in your own closet. Please do not wait.
that's true.
Well, I'm just saying
No one's plucked from obscurity anymore, it feels like.
well, I feel like people come here and then they're doing their jobs or whatever, and then they're doing stuff online, and then that stuff will get big, and then that's kind of them getting plucked from obscurity. It's the modern version.
Is
of
there
it.
like a new actor where it's like somebody saw them in an airport and went, you?
It's usually
like-
someone saw them on TikTok, and then they go, "Oh, come to LA."
Sure.
Yeah.
But you can't be a doctor through Nepo. I mean, your dad can help you, or your mom can help you, like, not have to work so you can study hard.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, there's like a whole. I mean, like the whole thing with like Harvard is like 60%
Yes.
legacy people or something. So
Yeah.
people are like, "All right, how fair is that?" You know, like if you're just keeping people because their
Yeah.
parents were there, you know, even though it's the same qualified people.
on your shirt is a classic example of this is somebody that just worked their way.
Arnold
Arnold Schwarzenegger, came from nothing in Austria, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Rags to
post-war
riches, the
and-
American dream.
Yeah.
Can't do that anymore.
the Austrian dream.
Do you think he should be allowed to be president?
I mean, over many other presidents, yes, I'd
Well, I mean, you can't
certainly say
he
yes.
constitutionally can't because he was born not in America.
But then I could be president too. If they change it, who would you vote for, me or Arnold?
I'm sorry, Elise.
I have a degree in political science.
Arnold has experience as the governor of California.
Yeah. Well,
Vote
Can
for
you-
me, y'all.
Okay.
And as the Terminator.
Also, this year
I
was
played Batman. Sorry, Lindsay.
no. There's some stuff on
True.
this list that I'm just not. I'm like, okay, the Succession finale, but I never watched that. Well, I did watch that.
Oh, it was
show.
awesome.
I watched a couple episodes and I was like, I hate this. So
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a
just-
stressful show.
I forgot that ended this year.
That was this
Holy
year.
Yeah,
shit.
I thought they tied that show up well though.
Barry ended this year
liked it.
too, right? Because that was
Yeah.
the same week
Yeah,
or
Barry
day.
too.
Yeah, it did. Which that I'm like 1.5 seasons into, and I do really like it, but it's just about taking the time to like sit down and watch it
You're gonna dig that one.
because it's like a lot to watch. Sometimes I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Beyonce asks Renaissance tour goers to wear silver a week before performance. So what's the deal with this?
So this was something that
I've never heard of that.
I observed secondhand online because, of course, the whole thing is like you got to get your fit ready in advance of the Beyonce concert. Like, 'cause it's all about like Taylor Swift too. It's like, what are you wearing to the show? What's your outfit?
They bring in
so
bracelets. and
If
stuff.
memory serves, like a week before this one show or this leg of the tour or something, Beyonce goes, I want to see everybody in silver out in the crowd. And there are people who are like, I had my outfit
planning their outfits for months.
3 months. I had my outfit picked up. I put it together. I did all
Wow.
this shit. And now Beyonce is like silver. And so there was this whole discourse online of some people were like, no, I'm not changing. I'm sorry, Beyonce. But then everyone else like raced to get these silver outfits together.
Oh my god!
And Etsy had like a shortage in silver sequins because people were like rushing to get these
Oh my
like
God.
silver sequins
Oh
to
my
make their
goodness.
costume or their outfits, I guess. I mean, it's a form of a costume, but
Yeah.
yeah, and to have that kind of sway as an artist, to just
Yeah.
make that decree to your fandom,
Yeah.
and they like snap to and say, okay, yeah, I got to do this.
Yes, Queen.
What a phenomenon, right?
I bet those people that stood by their original fits, I bet they look like the biggest fucking losers. in
and
there.
assholes. Like,
Yeah.
she's the queen. Come on.
So
Yeah.
I have a question. So if you were going to a Ween show and
Yeah.
you saw them
And they said,
put
"Oh,
out-
everyone come in brown tonight. We're getting extra
Coming
brown tonight."
yeah, like would you go? Oh, I got to do that.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Dean
Okay.
Ween tells me to wear brown. I say,
Okay, so that's
how
what I'm
brown?
saying. So like, what if you had planned a big Ween outfit and then they're like, actually, we want everyone to wear yellow. Like, would you be like, oh fuck, I got to get a yellow shirt?
Absolutely.
Where's Jingle All the
I
Way
don't want to be
shirt?
So
the,
see,
But silver in it, a brown T-shirt to Ween, anyone in this office can accomplish that, no problem. But a silver fit, that's different. That's not
You know
the
who
same.
would be really into that is the cult members of Love Has Won that I just watched on HBO because they drink silver for as a
Colloidal
cure-all.
silver,
Yeah,
whatever.
colloidal silver, and they turn blue.
Ugh. Oh yeah, it's like mercury poison.
Yeah, it's
they're
bad
poisoning
apparently if you
themselves.
drink it all the time.
I think Beyonce also had that thing where there was a point where she wanted everybody to be quiet in the stadiums.
Just for like a
there's-
millisecond. It's like in the middle of a
it's
song.
something, right?
I saw that, yeah.
Like,
Because I saw
yeah.
like some viral video of somebody screaming during it
Yeah.
and everyone got mad at her.
yeah, and it's like, come on. I also really like being part of those kind of community feeling things, right? Where it's like we're all
Yeah.
doing this thing.
Well, it's just funny
So
though because
rare.
it's like it's almost like you're Beyonce setting people up for failure because it's like you got thousands of people in this thing. The idea, obviously, it's cool if you can have sway over a crowd and be like, we're all gonna be quiet for a second. But usually in any crowd, there's at least one
yeah.
asshole, if not a million more.
The probability is just the
Right.
Anyways, that's pretty wild. Pope Francis AI coat.
What?
Yeah, someone put Pope Francis in this big puffy coat, and people thought it
right.
was real, but then it turned
Yeah.
out to be AI.
Yeah. I saw that one.
Because remember, Pope Benedict was a little bit of a fashionista, and then with Francis, it
You
felt
mean
like
a
we got
fashionista?
Oh,
shit!
Dismantle the Catholic Church. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
From lips of Ryan Haley.
Also on this list, Chinese spy balloons.
Yeah, that was kind of fucked up.
That was with the balloon that kind of was over Montana or something.
Yeah, how deep into that were you? What level clearance you got on that? Ryan Haley?
I mean, I listened to the Coast to Coast episodes. If that's what you're asking. I mean,
Wait, can you tell us anything about it?
It was, I mean, it clearly was some sort of surveillance thing, I feel like. But also, I mean, it's hard to know because you can't really believe anything the Chinese nationalist
funny
party
memes
says or
came
whatever
out of that.
Huh?
Some funny memes came out of that.
Yeah.
People would put the balloon over like an Arby's or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny though because he just went on the big friendship tour with Joe Biden in San Francisco.
Who?
She came over and was like, "Hey, you know how we've been really big assholes to you guys?
Mhm.
We said we hate you and whatever. We want to be friends across the board now about everything." It was just like a total 180 flip.
Yeah.
And then 2 days after he left, he was like, America's bad. America sucks.
Wow.
It's like getting in your car, be like, oh yeah, no problem, getting in your car and then like flipping somebody off and speeding away.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how relations are with China.
Diplomatic equivalent.
Well, how about those price of eggs?
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Oh my
That's what we should all be
God.
talking
It
about
kind of has gone
nonstop.
down a little bit, but I do remember at some point this year when I was like, why is this egg so expensive?
Well, the eggs though are just a canary in the coal mine for
Yes.
inflation at large,
Yes.
though.
Oh,
you
I
know.
am. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
aware.
which is not.
I
down.
normally I send my boyfriend to the grocery store. I go, take my credit card, go to the
Mhm.
store. I don't want to do it. I hate it. But like 2 weeks ago, I had gone to the store for the first time in probably about 3 months. And I was walking through there like, oh my God, everything's so expensive. Why is this
expensive.
bacon $20?
Yeah.
It's because you personally voted for Joe Biden. That is why. And are you going to do it again next year?
Who did you vote for?
What?
Yeah.
We don't have to go into that.
Okay.
God, I hope it was a third party. I hope you split the
It
Democratic.
was a woman. I voted for a woman. Thank you. You guys didn't. You guys voted for an
voted
old white
for-
man.
You voted
And
for
now your eggs are more
I can't
expensive.
vote.
He wrote in Elise Willem.
Thank
Canadian
you.
at large.
I was going through the grocery store like Julie Christie and Dr. Zhivago, Colin James going, we can't have eggs this week, my love. We cannot have the eggs. The prices and
The prices.
it depended on which store you went to. And then also on a personal note, James used to always he'd buy the little bit pricier eggs because he likes to let the chickens have space and walk around.
I buy the free range with the orange yolk eggs. Yeah.
And it's become a point of contention in our relationship because he still is like, we got to let the chickens walk around. And I'm like, we can't afford to let the chicken. I'm an animal lover.
I'm on James's side. It's like what? It's like $2 more to let your
I'm
chickens
also-
walk around.
yeah.
Let your chickens walk
It was
around.
$10 for a chicken to stretch its legs. They
What?
don't even fucking remember it.
And
how much is it normal?
After they do
it's
it.
a better quality egg and it's better
Oh,
for
it's
you.
the same egg, Lindsay. And it,
$10
yolk
for
is
$10 for the good
orange.
eggs. How much for the bad eggs?
$4 probably.
So $6 difference. $6 to let your chickens walk around. Worth it.
I did an Everly Well test that said I probably have an 85% chance of having a sensitivity to egg yolk. So I'm also eating the thing that's poisoning me that I'm overpaying for.
That's not the point that you.
I'm getting diarrhea.
You should just
So the chickens
not be
can
eating any of the eggs.
Where am I going to get this protein
If
from?
you cut out your half of the eggs, then the eggs that James is paying twice as much for would last twice as long, and then you'd be fine. Everything would be good.
I will say,
Yeah.
the thing I do miss is in the eggs that we would buy, you get this little paper and it's a chicken of the month.
Oh.
And it's a chicken or a rooster or a hen or whatever. And then I keep saying chicken. It's like it's a hen or whatever. And then they have a name. So it'll be like, this is Daisy. She's the hen of February. And then
So
they
think about Daisy next time
and
you're
the-
looking at those $4.
well, then they write a little blurb about them too. And I always save them and I put them on my fridge.
That is so smart for like what they're trying
Oh,
to do, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
they should like have a little label on every egg that's just like a different name, like Ted, Samantha. Like
but
so
I
you
mean-
can go, oh, I'm gonna eat Jacob right
It
now.
could have been Ted.
Jacob's babies.
Yeah, the baby. Yeah, it could have been. Potential for Ted.
Speaking of inflation, though, I also really enjoyed some of the memes that came out from like after Black Friday, like the TikToks of people being like, "Where's the fucking deal? Where's the deal?
The
10% off is not a deal. That's an everyday sale." And people going into Target and removing the Black
fake
Friday
deals.
the Black Friday like placard, and behind it is like sale, and it's just like the same price.
Yeah.
And people being like, "Where's the 80% off my TV?" And I will risk getting my head stomped on to get my $100 85-inch screen TV.
Funhaus is having legitimate sales that do not happen. Like we still have sales going on right now, probably.
Probably.
We got like 30% off in places, whatever. I won't,
I bought 12 board games on Black Friday for
You
my
did?
family at Christmas. Yeah, I'm
That's
excited.
great.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
There's a few things where I was like, okay, I got in on this sale. Actually, Rick put me onto the North Face sale,
Oh, they
and
had a
I
sale?
saved I think it was half the amount that
shit.
it was going to be based on these
Wow.
sales, because it was a percentage off and then another 30% off when you just join the fan club thing. And I was like,
holy shit.
added to my cart, and I was like, Rick, I shouldn't be shopping. So it's his fault.
But if you maybe would have gotten it anyway. I restocked.
I wasn't going to get it. I would never buy it. And I was like, yeah, I want it. I was itching. I was like,
Yeah, I did some of that
I need
too.
to spend money.
I got some karaoke wireless microphones in my room now that I'm like, all of a sudden I have them. But
Bring them here.
Yeah, let's do karaoke.
Let's do it.
Karaoke.
Restocked shampoos that I use. I bought a pair of pants from Big Bud Press because they never go on sale. So I'm like, I'm gonna get a pair.
If it's something that never goes on sale, then you get.
And I've
get
looked
in on
at
that.
forever, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Well, it's funny because it's the board games. It's some of these are oh my God, this one's 35% off, or this one's 40% off. So instead of $22, it is now $14. So at the end of it, I'm like, what did I really say? You know what I mean?
Yeah. What else is on here? The big red boots, which I don't know what that is, but I saw pictures of big red boots.
They were these boots. Maybe Rick can bring it up if he's with us. But these fashion boots that they kind of look like Mega Man boots that were on runways and people were wearing, and they're those red ones there.
Oh.
Why are
Yep, those are the ones.
Okay, so they're like Mickey Mouse shoes or something.
The big red boots.
So these are just.
Did somebody buy these? No. Yeah. Are you gonna?
Who's
okay.
that? Who's that girl?
Show that.
Who's
Can
that
you show
girl
that,
with
or
the
you
big
can't?
red boots?
Diplo at a Knicks game.
There you go. Show those big red boots.
Did not know that was Diplo.
That's Diplo at a Knicks game and
Wow.
big
And
red
the
and
boots.
big
And
red
that's
boots.
one of the Jenners, right?
But to me, they look like Mega
Kendall?
Man boots.
Is that Kendall Jenner? They look like little pipes.
I don't know. Everyone's kind of starting to look the same. I don't think that's a Jenner. I think that's Radikowski.
Yeah, that's Emily Ratajkowski.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Why do you guys know that, Emily?
We know everything. We watch Breaking Bad.
She was on something. Is
Breaking
she in the
Bad,
town?
right?
No, is she in Gone Girl?
Oh yeah.
Wait a second. Show
think
me that
so.
picture
I think
again.
so.
She's the
Wait, where'd the picture go?
Right there.
That's Kendall. That's Kendall
I
Jenner.
don't think so. I think that's Emily Ratajkowski.
It's Emily Ratajkowski.
No, that is Kendall Jenner, you guys. That's fucking Kendall Jenner.
I don't think so.
Sipping the thing. I just looked up the Ratajkowski, and it doesn't even look like her.
Really?
Yeah, you guys are wrong, and I'm right.
We might be wrong. I mean, I don't. The beer's in front of her face. You know.
And that's Pete Davidson.
What are you talking about? That doesn't look like her.
that is Kendall.
That doesn't
Wait,
look
is
like
that
her.
Pete Davidson?
No, it's not Pete Davidson.
That looks like the same
I feel
person.
like an idiot.
Who is
look.
that?
That's Emily Ratajkowski.
Someone has got to figure out.
Let me Google. I'm gonna hang on.
Diplo.
Yeah, I'm searching. For
I'm getting. This is who I'm getting for Emily Ratajkowski.
Look,
Oh,
Emily
wrong.
Ratajkowski and funny man boyfriend Eric.
Oh.
she dated Eric Andre.
See, I looked up Rogoski, I guess, and so that is somebody else.
I mean,
knew we were
you are right.
Elise, Jesus.
Gosh, we're 2 for 2 this
for
podcast.
2?
Right?
Emily, what?
You're right because they are looking similar.
Ratajkowski.
Because everyone's kind of getting
Oh.
the same little tweaks and stuff to their.
Yes, I see now.
looks.
This does look like that woman. Whoever I looked up before. Oh, yeah, show that.
That's great.
Whoever I looked up before was somebody else, not Ratajkowski or whatever. Whatever the fuck.
What else, Lindsay? What else happened
What
to
else?
us?
Yeah, what happened this year?
Titan Submersible, that was this year, which also
What?
the Titan Submersible.
Oh Jesus, that was a big one.
That's a big
That was
deal.
crazy.
Sucked, man.
That
I
was like
hated
a couple days of searching only to realize that happened immediately days ago. They were 10 days
Mhm.
ago.
I mean, that was one of the better outcomes that could have happened, I guess, if they were gonna
Yeah.
die.
Gross
But
negligence.
it
I
was
mean,
so
yes,
sad.
immediately dying was the best outcome rather
Yeah.
than being trapped down.
Yeah, but
there.
months later, seeing the sort of create freaking computer generated sort of recreation, not fun to watch. I was like,
Ugh,
I don't
dude.
need to watch these bones
Yeah,
become goo.
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And then just dissipate into tiny molecules, like millions of molecules. Anyways,
I saw, this is not, I don't think this happened this year, but there was some thing I saw where it was called Nutty Putty Cave. You heard this?
We talked about it on the 30 More Minutes
That makes
podcast.
sense. Yeah, the guy who basically went to the bad hole,
Yeah.
and then he was there for 30 hours, right?
It's a cave in, where was it? It was North Carolina, maybe?
Yeah.
Or Utah or somewhere. And this man, he went spelunking with his family into this Nutty Putty cave, which was notoriously a tough cave. If you got stuck somewhere, you would get screwed. But like Boy Scouts would go hiking in there and stuff. And he was he was face down, so his legs would have been in the air going through this one very, very narrow passage, and he got stuck and they couldn't get him out. And now the cave is sealed off, and it is essentially his tomb. Like there's this plaque out front or something, and you can't go into it. But it's so sad. And like the whole story of, because I think he was like alive for 24 hours, and then eventually he like lost consciousness and because he's upside down and everything. And what a horrible, awful way to die. Like, yeah.
Anyway, what else happened this year?
Can you elaborate on this Gwyneth Paltrow ski trial? I wish you well. What is that?
Gwyneth Paltrow ski trial? Oh, yeah.
Rick, can we get the images up with Gwyneth Paltrow?
It was like she hit somebody accidentally on skis.
Yes. Or ran into or that was the claim and everything.
And then the guy sued her.
He took her to court. They were in court. Gwyneth looked a little bit 70s serial killer in her outfit, but she looks good still, And so, she's in court.
Let's see this picture here.
And I think he was suing her, and then so she countersued, but she only countersued for $1, I believe, because she was like, "I'm not trying to get money from you. I'm just trying to like make a point." Is my inference here. So she countersues after he sues. He loses, and then as she's leaving the courtroom, and this is all being like televised or whatever, right? Too, or the recorded or whatever. And as she's leaving, she just leans over to him and she goes, "I wish you well," and then she leaves.
Yeah, and then he was murdered the next day.
No, he's fine. He's fine. But
so he was suing in bad faith?
No one knows. It's just one of these like,
He said, she said, and he saw an opportunity to take money, maybe.
Maybe, who knows? But Gwyneth Paltrow could be in the wrong. We don't know. It's not.
Why did she win if she was
him
in
being
the wrong?
her being compared to Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yeah. I mean, because I think it was still a big. There was no real proof of it, but I don't know. I don't know the details of the case.
I don't know, but I wish you well.
I wonder how long it will take for I wish you well to become a West Coast equivalent of bless your heart.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not see some stuff I just totally missed. Like Phoebe Bridgers and Bo Burnham, I didn't catch that until like a couple weeks ago.
Is it still on or is it off?
I don't know, actually. Are they still on?
I think they've been together for a while now.
I like both of those
I don't
people.
even know that, but then again, I'm only a recent geniuser.
I thought it was one of the boys. I thought you were. Are there fans the boys or just the people the boys?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Actually.
I'm not.
Sorry, I'm not.
Because I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Because I don't know.
You asked Julian. You guys are homies.
I'll text her.
You're like, my middle-aged women friend want to know what to call themselves in your fandom.
Yeah. My friend likes you. What should she call herself?
A bitch?
A jewelry box.
Okay, there's just 3 more things on this list, and then we're going to take a quick break. Okay. There's Angela Bassett did the thing, which I didn't know what that was, but I watched the video, and I was like,
Angela Bassett did the thing.
Angela Bassett did the thing.
Ariana DeBose, is that her name?
Yes.
What are you talking
Who
about?
is from, she's a musical theater artist.
She won the
from
Oscar.
West Side Story.
She won the Oscar.
Yes.
She hosted some, like the
Tonys
Tonys or something.
Like
that. And she did this whole like
musical
rap kind of commenting on different celebrities that were in the crowd. Like Angela Bassett did the thing. Jamie Lee Curtis, blah, 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 blah. But she did this rap, and I kind of felt bad for her because she got like mocked by the internet. But
what?
Because
someone mocked her on the internet? What the fuck has the world come to?
But no, it's just also like, come on. It was like a cool thing celebrating all these women and shit. Like, it was a little corny. Yes, but
it's just because it wasn't very good. I think that's when somebody makes a mockery.
My name's Angela Bassett, and I'm here to say. Was it like that?
Well, it was, like we could maybe, I don't know.
It's like if it hits weird, if there's any moment that's like, oh, then it's like immediately that's
you're done for.
It's corny, but come on. Wouldn't the world be a little bit better if we were all just a little bit more corny?
Remember when the Grimace milkshake killed everybody? All the TikToks of the Grimace milkshake.
I feel like people largely believe that. I think most people have a heart and are like, I wish the world wasn't as cynical.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the cynical people are so loud that you can't break through the noise sometime.
Yeah.
The last thing on this little section is the Blink-182 reunion.
Oh, hell yeah. That was a good show. That was so much fucking fun. Did either of y'all catch them?
No,
The
they were like, the tickets were insane.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
But it was such an amazing show. My buddy from like 8th grade who we had a band and stuff together. Jerry has no skates. They're fucking rad. He came out for it. And we had in LA the best show on the whole tour.
Is that where they announced her pregnancy? Kourtney Kardashian's pregnancy?
Oh, no.
Oh.
I know.
Yeah, because she's like married.
That
to
was
him?
like a couple shows before or
Okay.
something. But yeah, that was like the week of. But what was so awesome about it, like every other show on the tour was just kind of like this old person setup of like, it's all seating basically. And then there was a tiny sliver of like a pit at the very front,
Mm-hmm.
which is like you had to pay $1 million to go up there. And my buddy Danny, who actually came, he went to the show in Chicago where he's from, and he was like, "Yeah, it was fun. It was a big sing along, and we're just kind of there." But ours was like on a soccer field, and the whole entire soccer field was general admission, right? And so it was just like you could sit in the stadium part, but in the bowl, but then the general admission was just one big field, and so it was just like fucking a million mosh pits everywhere, and it was crowd circle pits, and it was just so fun. It was like what it should have been.
That sounds fun. I mean, I would get destroyed in one of those pits, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. For one, everyone's really.
Is there a pit mom
There's
that's looking out for people?
It was funny. There was actually a pit. The pit mom that was there. She was dressed up like the enema of the state nurse from the
Nice.
album cover,
Nice.
and stuff. So then like people would get hurt and stuff, or like, and she's like, "Oh no!" And then she's like checking with her like stethoscope.
Like a little light.
You know, it was funny.
Cute.
That's
Wow,
cute.
That
it
was a
would have been
great
cool
show.
because I listened to a lot of Blink-182 in my youth, but
Yeah, and it's interesting because James and I we were the new song that they released about, I guess it's about them coming back together, where they're like, singing. It sounds like the lyrics sound like they're singing about them. I don't know what the lyrics are. I can't tell you.
They did release kind of their Adams song of this album was like them all being grateful that they're still friends, and that they're like. Because it took
these big moments and tragedies.
Mark's cancer, and Travis's airplane scare, and Tom being probed by aliens or something.
Some people might
crazy.
think that's kind of corny.
Yeah, the song is kind of corny. That album kind of sucks.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, but I love it.
I didn't. I'm not a fan. I'm sorry.
well, you know what's not
Okay.
corny? Our sponsor.
No. Unless it's corn.
Unless
Is it Big
it's
Corn?
It's not Big Corn,
Oh.
but we're gonna hear a word from him, and we'll be right back. Hey guys, I'm here to tell you about this week's sponsors. Thanks to Aura Frames for sponsoring this episode. Last minute shoppers, you know how difficult and stressful it can be to find a great gift, especially as we get closer to the holidays and stores start to look a little bare. Luckily, you still have time to get a thoughtful personal gift for your loved ones, a digital picture frame from Aura Frames loaded up with all your favorite pics. It was the #1 digital frame by Wirecutter, The Strategist, and Wired, and it'll be a nice surprise for whoever. Mom, dad, grandma, a sibling. And it's the gift that keeps on giving. Even after you hand it off, you can upload your new photos from the Aura app and invite the rest of your family to join in on the fun too. And your loved ones can swipe the top of the frame to get all the past photos of everyone else and get solo shots of you, as I'm sure they're going to want to do. I love my Aura frame. It's so cute. I loaded it up with pictures of my family and my friends and my dog. And I think it makes a really nice gift too. So when I give one to my mom, I'm just going to send her pictures of my dog. So save yourself the hassle of last-minute shopping. Visit auraframes.com today and get $30 off their best-selling frames with the code FHPOD. These frames sell out quickly, though, so get yours before they're gone. That's AURA frames.com with promo code FHPOD. Terms and conditions apply. Thanks to Uncommon Goods for sponsoring today's episode. If you haven't finished your holiday shopping yet, don't panic. There's still time to find original, out-of-the-ordinary gifts with the help of Uncommon Goods. They seriously have something for everyone. We're talking moms, dads, teens, in-laws, besties, and your one and only. And it's not stuff you can find just anywhere. Uncommon Goods has unique and creative gifts, often handmade by independent artists and makers. They have everything from art to jewelry to games to kitchen and bar decor. They even have uncommon experiences like tarot card readings, romantic map making, cooking and mixology classes, and more if you're looking for a new way to have fun and connect with your loved ones. I just picked up this really cute personalized cutting board. It's like a little circle, but then it folds into itself because I love hosting a good party, and it's going to come and super handy for my holiday party this year. Plus, with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $2.5 million to date. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/FHpod. That's uncommongoods.com/FHpod for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
Thank you to our sponsors. Speaking of corn, I have one other thing to add, which is the Corn Adidas collection. Because,
the band, the Corn.
Yeah, the
Adidas?
band Corn, they did a collection with Adidas because remember how when they first came out, he would always be rocking the Adidas jumpsuit?
Yeah.
Time's a flat circle. Wow. And so now Corn's got their own Adidas jumpsuit, and I think Lindsay might be getting one, a Black Friday deal. What are we thinking, Lindsay?
I don't know.
Deal's so good to make you say, boom,
Have you got the suit?
Wow, did not know about that deal. Did not know about some of that. There was something else I was going to say, and I also
Is it about corn?
Forgot.
It's about Blink-182.
Oh no, it was about like Blink-182 reunion. They put out a new song. Also, NSYNC put out a new song this year.
Also, the Rolling Stones put out an awesome album.
And then Britney Spears put out a memoir.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Foshes.
This episode should be recapping the year Foshes.
Yeah, Foshes. So I have a few little categories here. Mostly they're very brief, just because I'm like, what shows that came out that I really watched? I do, in general, watch a lot of TV, but this year I feel like I more played games. I think there were so many games that came out.
You're a gamer.
That I'm a gamer, but I'll just name a couple of my favorite shows from the year that I did watch. The Last of Us, that was great. Episode 3 was great. Jury Duty, which was an unexpected delight that I just was like, I saw a TikTok for it and I was like, I should watch that. And I binged it all the way through and I was like, this is amazing. And then, now I'm not saying this was amazing, but because it was the end of an era of Ted Lasso, because season 3 came out this year and so kind of wrapped it all up. But then my boyfriend and I went back and watched season 1 and we were like, this is good. So, I don't know. They might make it into a just about the football club, maybe.
I saw that. Or maybe the women's team or something.
Yeah.
You already said Barry and Succession. Those two were fucking legit.
I started Barry. I need to watch that.
Shows that I love were Paul T. Goldman.
I have that on my list
How
here.
awesome
Paul
was
T. Goldman.
That was such a fun one.
Cringe fest.
Telemarketers.
I have that on my list too. Telemarketers.
So great. And I think I mentioned earlier, but I love that Love Has Won doc. That was so bizarre and freaky.
I'm going to write these down.
I have How To with John Wilson, of course.
Yeah.
New season is great. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off was phenomenal.
James told me to watch it. I haven't seen it yet.
Scavenger's Reign is cool
I haven't
and
watched that yet.
atmospheric.
Jacob keeps talking about it.
The Other Two was the funniest show on television and it just had its final season.
Other
I
two?
love The Other Two.
On HBO.
Lindsay, I think you would really love it.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm writing all these down because
Somebody Somewhere with Bridget Everett is, I feel like, a show that just gets continually slept on and ignored because it has a protagonist that isn't maybe the cookie cutter protagonist. It's a woman who is heavier set, doesn't fit the model mold. She's complicated, but it's such a good show, and it is a show that breaks your heart but then builds it up again. Poker Face, the Ryan Johnson with
I didn't watch that one.
I like that so much. Columbo, huge Columbo vibes. The Righteous Gemstones new season.
Yeah,
I always wanted to watch that.
I didn't finish it. People told me it was awesome.
Oh, yeah. And then there's so much that I've only started, Blue Eyed Samurai, I only watched the first episode. There's so much that I feel I'm also starting. Fargo that just came out is already off to a great start.
Beef came out this year.
Beef, yeah,
that
Beef was good.
I was reading about that.
It was a great year for TV. We're just always now.
The Bear season 2, but I haven't watched it, so I didn't want to talk about it because I do want to watch that. I haven't seen it.
We're in the middle of The Curse right now, which is pretty good. I'm one episode behind.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where you're watching it and you're like, this is stressful.
Yeah, I certainly am not head over heels in love with it yet, but I keep thinking has to be just a giant big setup for something more insane to happen.
Ryan, my theory was because how they did all the marketing that was copying Anyone But You, the movie with Sydney Sweeney, and I was like, imagine if Anyone But You was a fake movie. That's not imagine if it was a fake movie that Nathan Fielder made so he could do shit with it, and then in the rehearsal season 2, he'll go, I needed to do marketing for
dude.
For the curse.
I
So
don't
I
understand
decided
That
it.
to make.
honestly had not even crossed my mind, but that.
So I decided to
yeah.
make a fake movie with two of the youngest, hottest stars in Hollywood. But also, what do we need? We need press. So we need to maybe have rumors of an affair. To do this, I had to imagine if that
Yeah.
was a thing. I don't think it is. I think it's a real movie. But imagine.
I'm imagining it, and you're like, wow.
I think it's a real
you're
movie.
genius.
They recently did reshoots. I saw the trailer when I went to go see Thanksgiving. So I think it is a real movie. But imagine.
Well, I notoriously was the first person in my friend. I posted on the internet like the day that dumb Starbucks went viral. I was like, "This is a Nathan Fielder bit,"
Wow.
and then everyone was like, "Nah, what are you talking about?" And then I was
You
vindicated.
got it, man.
Yeah.
I
Jeez.
drove by it and I was like, what is that? So yeah, a lot of really great shows. Some stuff that it's on my list to check out for sure. Like there's stuff I just even abandoned. Like I don't think I even finished the last 2 seasons of British Bake Off. Like just because this year I spent so much time at my computer. I spent so many hours gaming.
You do.
Because with the combo of, first of all, last year around this time I got back into playing Overwatch, so like that takes over my whole life. When I get on the computer, I'm just there. But Zelda,
Oh yeah, jeez.
Starfield, which was a huge game for me.
Case of the Golden Idol.
I put a lot of time into that.
It's my goatee.
Oh. There's a couple other games that I wrote down here that were just really big games. You can let me know if you played it at all, or Ryan, you can let me know if you've heard of it. Have you heard of Spider-Man 2?
Can I just say, the bar is in the basement. The stakes are so low. The standards are so low.
Have I heard of Spider-Man 2? Is that what you just asked me?
Yeah.
Miles Morales.
Yeah,
Spider-Man
you're talking about
2.
this.
There
the
was a new Spider-Man game.
The
yeah.
Spider-Verse.
No, there was a
No.
new Spider-Man game.
Okay, well then
Just
no, I
came
didn't
out.
know that existed.
Just
I mean,
came
I've heard of
I heard it
Spider-Man
was
2,
really-
the
I
Sam
heard it's
Raimi
really
movie,
good.
or
That's a zero for Ryan. This
Okay.
is scoreboard.
Fine. Baldur's Gate, which I played a little bit of, and that was pretty fun.
I've heard of that.
Can you tell us what number in the series the newest Baldur's Gate is?
Yeah.
I would have guessed 1, but because you just asked me that, I'm gonna go 7.
3.
3.
Fuck.
That's a 0. It's another 0.
Diablo
I've heard of that.
4.
Oh, I was gonna ask.
I knew you were, but I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Diablo 4, which was a pretty big deal, but then I heard it was just kind of okay.
I mean, I guess there were lots of complications trying to get online and
Yeah.
play it, which, sometimes I think a game comes out the gate and then it hits those roadblocks and it takes
Yeah.
a little bit of the steam
It
out of
does,
the
it does.
train.
And then you'll have to like wait until later.
Yeah.
Like I remember 6 years after No Man's Sky is when I kind of got into it, and I was like, oh, this game is great because it finally kind of pulled it back together. Star Wars Jedi Survivor was this year, which that really also totally blew my mind because it came out, and then I think right after Zelda came out.
Yeah.
So
We graduated from a Jedi Academy this year, the 3
We
of us.
did.
oh, we did.
I forgot that was
Where's
this year.
And then I have a couple. These other ones I haven't really played, but I've watched people play it because I also had Resident Evil 4. That was this year.
Resident Evil 4 was this year, and it's actually a Game Awards Game of the Year nominee.
Really?
Now wait a second. Resident Evil 4 came out a while ago. I
Well,
know as a gamer.
and
I know
here's-
this.
here's-
And this is a remake. I
Yeah,
heard, right?
and so
See, I
this
know
is
things.
actually raises a good question here because it is a remake, so it's a full remake from the ground up versus a remaster where it's just kind of like a remastering, upresing of it.
Mhm.
But there is a lot of discourse happening as to, especially with the Game Awards, should we institute a remake category, a best remake? Because we're getting so many remakes, we're getting so many remasters. Does this deserve to be its own category now? Or is it fair to have it grouped in?
I think it'd be. I think if it was a remaster category, that would be appropriate. I think.
Yeah.
Well, on a similar token, do you think Taylor Swift's re-recordings of her songs should be in contention at the Grammys for?
Are they?
I don't know.
Oh,
Just
I was-
asking.
I wouldn't. I would say no, but maybe because it's a whole new work and everybody worked on it again.
It's
like
tough.
I don't know.
It's tough because
It's not like it was it was
Yeah.
not like it was written, but that would be the only thing it wouldn't be nominated for, right?
And it's tough
I
with
don't know.
games too, because if you compare a game like Resident Evil 2, the remake versus the original,
Mhm.
the remake to me feels like a completely different experience.
really.
So
I guess
I would argue that it does
Subjective.
deserve to be considered as a new original title. But it is a complicated thing.
Mhm.
Alan Wake 2, which we did on stream for a little bit.
Mhm.
Lies of P also.
James's like obsession.
Yeah, he was playing it
favorite
during
thing.
like an event once.
Yeah.
Community event.
He loves it so much.
And then the last game on here, I'm sure, and there's more games that came out, but these are some of the biggest ones that I remember us participating in was the Mortal Kombat 1, which doesn't make sense at all. It's like Xbox
Which
It was a good
1.
time.
great fatalities. They did land themselves into a little bit of hot water with the DLC because they had a $10 fatality that they did. I think it was a Johnny Cage one, maybe. And people were like, I don't want to pay $10 for a
Then
Yeah,
don't buy it,
That's
man.
not a
video of
microtransaction.
fatality.
Don't buy
That's
it.
a mega
It's
transaction.
like if you give me a new character, you
Yeah.
know, that's okay. That feels like a DLC,
Yeah.
but a fatality?
I thought the hot water was going to be something about the content of it being so insane. But you're like, no, they just charged
In
extra for me
America,
to see them kill
yeah.
this person.
Violence is A-okay.
So those are the last of the game. Was there any game that you really loved this year?
Case of the Golden Idol,
Okay.
I thought was
Is that a
brilliant.
Survivor game?
No, it's a little bit of a historical mystery
Okay.
with, I would say, eldritch elements. It doesn't matter. Let's not
It's
talk about
cool.
me.
Carmen
Enough about me.
Sandiego
I want to talk
elements?
about you. It's not game related, Lindsay, but can I raise something here?
Oh yeah.
You and I have two different things that we kind of gave up this year. You know, I don't eat McDonald's really anymore.
I don't really eat McDonald's that
Well,
much
not
anymore.
no, I was gonna talk about weed.
Uh-huh.
You were like,
well, you mean spliffs specifically?
oh, spliffs,
This
right?
is
You were like,
the-
I'm not gonna smoke weed anymore.
spliffs.
Okay, well, that feels like that. Maybe you're changing the goalposts there a little bit because I remember it being smoking.
Well, I definitely, that was my strategy at the beginning, was like, all right, fucking get all of it out, like cold turkey, all of it. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah.
But tobacco's the worst part of the equation. That's what I was really trying to quit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
yeah.
And so I was mixing tobacco with with weed.
But checking in a year later, you're still off the spliffs.
I am, but I'm not. I've.
I'm not trying to call
it's
you out
hard,
here.
man.
I'm not trying to call you
addicted
out
to this
here.
shit. It's fucking hard. And you know, I was chain smoking like, you know, probably 9 a day or something like that, something crazy. And now I'm like,
That's a smoker's
lot,
habit. Yeah.
the weekends here, I'm definitely gonna smoke at least one for the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, maybe 2, but like, and then maybe on a special occasion, which those seem to happen pretty much all the time.
Well, so McDonald's, right? Because like I feel like I'm sensitive to gluten, and I was like, okay, can't do McDonald's anymore.
Yeah.
But occasionally, I'm hitting up that drive-through. I'm getting fries and
Yeah.
McFlurry. I'm getting fries and a milkshake.
Yeah.
All right, or I'm
Well, I feel like it's fine if
Those
you
are
are
the best
actually, if you're
options
good
for
about
gluten-free.
actually, you know, keeping a balance of it, and you're like, all right,
Yeah.
you know, I'm really only going to keep to doing this once every
Well,
once in a while.
But then I also that one stream where I ordered us like $30 worth of McDonald's
Yeah.
too,
Mhm.
and it was
You
all
shit
fries.
yourself afterwards.
Yeah, and then
Well, that's
it's like
because
every
that's
time
you were
I
just
know,
eating
yeah.
fried potatoes and milk.
Okay,
That is your favorite meal.
it is my favorite
That is
meal.
your
And
favorite
one time
meal.
Lindsay and I went to dinner together, and I ordered two
Like,
different.
It
types
was
of
like
potatoes.
2 different kinds of potatoes, and that was all she ordered. And I was like, "Is that?"
I was like, that's all you need to know about me. but yeah, so I think that we kind of did our goals, but with an asterisk.
yeah, no, I definitely give myself like a fucking C minus. at
See,
the
and
best.
this is why I don't set goals.
I give myself a B.
I have to. The alternative is just be like, well, fuck it, I'll just keep doing it. You know, I can't. I gotta.
That's a joke. Is that I am the alternative? That's what I meant. Like
Oh,
that's what
okay.
I do. Is I go, fuck that. I'm just gonna keep being a shithead.
You're perfect.
I want to do that. Trust me.
You
I
don't
would
need
if
to
I
change.
could be chain smoking spliffs all the time. I wish I fucking was still doing that. I do. I miss it. I love them. They make life fun. Okay, every fucking hour and a half or something. I have a little treat to look forward to. Ooh, that's gonna kind of power me through the next couple. And it's like if you don't have that fucking thing, it's like, well, what? You know, the next
Okay.
7 hours after work, it's like, well,
Just a can of so we can like put a different perspective on it
Yeah.
because Ryan's heavily
spiraling out.
advertising. Ryan's heavily advertising for how amazing tobacco and therefore nicotine is. Okay, as soon as you stop getting the nicotine, your body immediately starts craving the nicotine again. So just putting that out there that it's bad and don't do it.
Mhm.
well, wait, what did that have to do with?
Because you're saying, oh, it's so amazing. It's
you're.
I just wanted to
shouting to
give
the
them
heavens.
a perspective of okay, it's actually really bad for you because it's very addictive.
Right, but psychologically, that's the whole point. It's like you get a dopamine rush or whatever.
Yeah, but as soon as it's done, your body's immediately craving it, so it's hard to stop.
Dewey, you
That's
don't
why
want
it's
none
so
of
hard
this.
for you to stop.
This'll get you. Tim.
Dewey.
From Walk Hard.
Anyways,
I'm doing a little better, but I could do better.
do you have any other?
Hey, it's never too late.
I know that's
We're-
that. I tell myself that. It's
And
like, all
maybe-
right, let's fucking start right now. Let's go.
Maybe I'm
Let's start smoking. Let's go.
Maybe I'm a
Get
zero
me?
McDonald's in 2024.
Yeah, you think you can really do that?
Do you think you can do it?
No spliffs for 2024? I cannot.
Oh, okay.
I will do less. I will definitely try to.
He said, "No, thank you."
Yeah.
I want to say that, but it's just I know that I will be lying to you.
Oh my god.
I mean, I appreciate that.
Oh,
Okay, sorry, Lindsay.
that's great. No,
One day I will get there.
that's pretty much all I had. Unless there was anything that else that was a highlight for you.
Are we not
See, I
talking
feel
about
like this is
Faraway
why
Down?
this is why I need to
Oh,
get.
I did have this section on here. Yes, sorry, I did have this section on here because I was like, when I was looking up the TV shows, I remembered that I had saw this TikTok for a show, a mini series, and I was like, what is this? This is a show, but this is the footage from the movie Australia.
Oh yeah.
And I was watching it and I was like, this is Australia. And at the end they go Faraway Downs. And I was like, they're calling it something else, but it's just, what is happening here? So
And I had a similar experience with it.
yeah.
James and I are watching Hulu or whatever. And then we start seeing a trailer for Australia. And I think that's weird. Why in 2023 are we watching a trailer for Australia rolling in
From
here?
2008.
And then he kind of looks away or whatever. But I see the very end title card where it says Faraway Downs. And I'm like, what? And I tap him and I'm like, rewind. What was that? And he's like, what? And I'm like, what did that just say? And he's like, Australia. And I'm like, no. We need to. So we play it back. And I'm like, I think it said far or something. And he thinks I'm, 7 spliffs in. But we rewind it, and then he's like, "Oh shit, Faraway Downs. What the fuck is?" And I'm like, "Is that what it was called in another part of the world?" So I looked it up, and
So the Oscar, here's the only thing that I had read from an article or whatever. The Oscar-nominated filmmaker has re-edited his melodrama. Yes, Baz Luhrmann, one of my favorite directors, into a story told across 6 chapters for Hulu, incorporating nearly an hour of new footage and a completely different ending into a new work called Faraway Downs.
It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty wild.
so you think it's awesome?
I mean, I like the idea of. I don't know how much I will consume stuff like that, but Zack Snyder's cut or something like that. It's like, all right, this movie came out, but we actually have so much. The story's so expansive and stuff that then we're going to give them $80 million to kind of flesh that out. There's something kind of cool about repurposing footage for a movie and then adding more to make a longer
I just don't
thing.
like it being advertised to me as if it's a new thing.
It should be Australia, Faraway Down, the TV
reimagine,
series.
reimagined, reconstructed.
That in the marketing, there's the story retold or
You think it's a bait
reimagined.
and
It was
switch?
none of that. It was like a trailer as if it was for a new show. And I was like, that's Hugh Jackman in 2007 or whenever they filmed this.
Yeah. So actually, it is also being done to BlackBerry. They did the BlackBerry movie.
Oh.
They took it and they made it into a 3-part miniseries with added footage.
Is it still
That's
called
cool.
BlackBerry
on
though?
AMC. I think it's still called BlackBerry.
See, at least there's that.
But so I'm conflicted on this because in one respect, I think that for a movie like BlackBerry that was amazing, there is an audience that will now see it because they're interested in a series. They weren't necessarily interested in watching a movie about this, but people consume things differently, TV versus movies. So, but on the other hand, I think it says a lot about it raises a lot of questions about filmmaking and the artist's intent and filmmaking and media as a capsule and a preservation of a work and what you're trying to say with it. And I feel like sometimes there was a movie like The Godfather, right? Where we make The Godfather is made. This is it. This is the end. This is the fully finished product. And this is what it's going to be and how it's always going to be immortalized and remembered and what it is. But when we start to play around with media, and we can then start just kind of like, there are director's cuts, obviously, so it's not a new thing to recontextualize and reimagine something. But I think does it become a slippery slope where like movies are also shot with the idea of they could also be TV series?
That would be, if they start reverse engineering it like that.
Yeah,
that
so
would
then
be bad.
like Disney goes to somebody and says, well, you need to make this movie, but you also need to make it in case we want to make it into a 6-hour series because, movies are obviously a script is structured and written in a certain way and format, and a story is told in a certain way. And so then if you're trying to recontextualize it as a TV series, which then needs to have like
multiple
arcs within, like, I think it just can become a weird thing to go down. I also like Blackberry. I was like, oh, I fucking love that movie. Yes, I want to see more of it. So in one respect, as a consumer, I'm kind of like, oh, hell yeah. But I do think, yes, slippery slope potentially where
I can see that.
There becomes a edict, or not an edict, but like a directive from a studio that's like, well, we need this to be able to fit this different format down the road. So you have to make sure your story can fit these different formats. And that's all I have to say.
Well,
about
and
that.
to your point though, like it is like I do like when there was just a definitive version of something. It's so bizarre to me how there's 4 versions of I think Apocalypse Now that it's like, all right, if you're gonna watch this movie, you almost have to research which version do I want to watch and what is the official version, what is whatever. But so I get that. But Godfather kind of had the same thing with Godfather 3. They recut that. I don't know if you saw Coda. Did you see that? You know what I'm talking about?
The film Coda?
Not the death movie, but
I was like, I saw that.
Godfather 3 Coda.
I've never seen Godfather 3.
You should honestly. I had never seen Godfather 3 either, and I always heard it was just panned and everyone hated it. And then I watched Godfather 3 Coda, which is Francis Ford Coppola's basically director's cut of Godfather 3 that he released 2 years ago. And I liked it a lot. I was sitting there going, why is this movie so panned? I mean, there is weird shit in it. Sofia Coppola's whole thing with her cousin is bizarre, but like I liked it. It was good.
I will watch it because I have always been curious. Like, what is it?
You should watch Coda.
Is there anything else? Did you end up thinking of anything that happened to you this year?
Sparked joy?
Yeah, that you were like, wow, this is great.
I don't know. It was a fun year for Funhaus, I think. Like, we had a lot of good
we did.
laughs and memories, which I'm sure will get revisited next podcast.
Yeah,
but
we'll talk about some of our favorite moments working.
I would be remiss to not bring up, we had 2 amazing Survivor seasons this year. We're in the middle of one right now. And
we'll have to.
Things are only looking up
next
for America's
week,
favorite TV show.
I think, before everything's wrapped up, we'll have to do one
Golden Bachelor finale recap.
We'll just have to do a little mini truncated one.
Very small, little 1 minute.
It'll
recap.
be the send off for that because the final episode aired
is tonight.
Well, yeah. So when we're filming this, it was a week ago or whatever. When this airs, it was a week ago. So we'll have a little moment. So that's why we're not talking about it because we filmed this before the episode aired.
Did we start doing this podcast this year, or was that at the end of last year?
This iteration?
Yeah.
That was this year.
Wow.
The beginning
this podcast should be on your pop culture list, Lindsay.
Well, we can talk about it at fun during next episode where we
in the postmortem.
Talk about this is our postmortem of what worked, what didn't work.
I feel like I have to apologize to everyone because last week I began the podcast by saying we're going to do these am I the asshole questions, but last time we did it, everyone got so mad at me for not verbatim reading or not so many people, but a lot of people in the comments that I didn't verbatim read it. And then I said that at the beginning of last time we did it, and then I didn't verbatim read it. And I was reading some of the comments this time. They're like, what the fuck? Like you
oh no.
I need to know exactly the context, every line of the thing.
Yeah.
It's important. I'm like, I don't know. It takes fucking forever. Those things are like 5 paragraphs,
People like to write.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Sorry about that.
No. We're all good. Everybody's all good. It's all fine. We're going to end this episode today here. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for listening. If you're in the car and we got you home or wherever you're going. Anything to add? Anybody?
No. Thank you for hosting, Lindsay. What a wonderful look back. So many fun moments this year. I'm glad we didn't talk about any of the bad stuff. Maybe a little bit with the submersible, things like that.
Yeah. Well, and also like let us know if there was something huge that happened that we just totally blanked on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can. Never mind. Just gonna mention a couple wars going on.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
This is that we were talking about pop culture.
Oh, yes.
We're talking
Pop
about the
culture.
Pope's fake coat.
Okay, you're right.
The Pope,
Light stuff.
So, I'm trying to look to see if there's any streams coming up that are going to be some fun events. There's next week is the Truck and Xmas stream, so just look forward to that. Keep watching. We got a bunch of great videos coming out now. We still got more License to Kill that's coming out, and stay tuned for next week. We'll be back one more time.
One more time.
We're gonna celebrate. Oh, yeah. Oh,